And here we are.
Yeah,
Episode 3.
Yeah, be not afraid, homie. I
Lucky
can
number
dig it.
3, eh?
Lucky
Yeah,
number 3.
just like
And
you.
we got a third.
Yeah.
Lucky number 3.
Spencer Smithers, the
last
optimist.
threesome I want to be a part of.
And co-host June. Here we go.
Yeah,
So we're back for another one. And
there we are.
We were just upstairs having a good chat. And we're like, let's roll camera and get some of this. Hey, Junie?
Yeah, no, most certainly. We were talking about a lot of different things, but I guess we left off on the responsibilities of the newer generations to actually attempt to steer the even newer generations in the right direction in terms of leadership roles, because we're definitely suffering in that factor across, well, some aspects. I can only speak for the industries that I'm a part of, right? So I do construction and tree work, and when I run my own business and arboriculture, I try to be a pretty decent, laid-back boss. I don't even consider myself a boss. I just bring out some friends to come and work alongside me, but you got to prioritize everyone's safety and well-being. And when I'm in construction, I feel like that's definitely not the case whatsoever.
Yeah, I think it's really important to work as a team. You know, I don't know if you guys have ever moved before, but it's far easier to carry a table if there's a person on each end than if you're carrying it by yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, without a doubt. Yeah.
What were you saying about like the mentorship though, and maybe the lack of mentorship, or that the old giving to the new to keep?
Well, yeah, no, I think a lot of older generations, I can't speak for everyone because I've come across a couple of diamonds, you know, who were really beneficial to me when I was learning carpentry, for example, and tree work as well. But for the most part, I ran across older cats that wanted to keep their skills and particularly their secrets a bit more, under the radar, so that they could, obviously have an edge above younger guys that are obviously stronger and more eager to get at it than they were. And ultimately, being 28, I try to bring like the knowledge that I have to younger guys immediately, because that way they actually are just as capable as you are in a very short period of time.
And do you feel like it's a satisfying feeling?
Oh yeah, I love teaching, man. I feel like I'm not that good at learning. It takes me a bit to absorb information, but then when I have it, I'm pretty good at explaining and teaching people, and I love teaching
and encouraging people. Like we're humans, and we all make mistakes, and we actually need to kind of glorify that a little bit, because that's where you learn. When you're jumping in the
imperfection
fire.
is perfection, homeboy.
When I was younger, I was always scared to make a mistake. Like playing competitive sports, you would get reprimanded by your coach or something like that if you made a mistake, but to encourage that, and analyze it afterwards. Like, hey, you did this kind of aspect wrong. Try to brush up on it, and it's all about kind of refining. And you're going to get a really solid final product if, you start small and you build up and embrace. Like, that's what I tell young people is embrace the mistake,
Oh, yeah.
Because no one's going to go out there and be perfect, whether it's in your job, say you're going to go try to meet a girl, so you're not going to get every girl that you speak to.
No, you're going to get very few of them, but you got to keep at it, buddy.
But you got to shoot your shot.
Be more selective.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's really like, it's kind of a numbers game. Like, if you try to get a girl, 10 of them are going to say no, but one of them's going to say yes because they're going to like certain
Because she's naive.
but they're going to like some of the attributes that you bring to the table, and it's the same thing with, with work and stuff like that. You got to just go out there and, maybe try a bunch of things, and you're going to find something that maybe you're a little bit naturally gifted at, and going out there and having fun.
I've learned a lot more from making mistakes than I have from succeeding. Like, that's the reality. I feel like every time I make a mistake, I remember that, man. That is burnt into my mind, and as a result of that, I typically don't repeat that error, but when I succeed, that's when you get cocky. Yeah. If you don't have that trial by fire, you're just going to keep going forward, and eventually, your luck is going to run out, and that's when you end up with a chainsaw to the face.
Yep. Yeah, and you don't want that to happen. Brando can speak from experience. And,
yeah.
It's kind of funny how we were talking about sobriety too, and how we kept making the same mistakes over and over, and
Oh fuck, man.
that's the weird part about it, right? Because you're like, yeah, it's good to learn from the mistakes, but then we're like, oh, sometimes we're in a
Yeah.
perpetual loop machine.
Oh, yeah.
Freaking making mistakes like
And that's the definition of insanity. When you keep making the same mistake and expecting
yeah,
different results.
We were being, outright insane.
Yeah.
And,
Oh, man.
it sucks, dude. I think back and I'm like so glad to feel where I am now, like working on music and making those kind of mistakes, and like, the smaller mistakes where you're like, oh, I'm not as patient as I could have been, but yeah, thinking of
and
like,
filling your life with something that you truly enjoy.
yeah,
Because
and-
drinking, you're getting wasted. You're wasting time. You know what I mean? And if the three of us could have the time back that we kind of wasted, and we're lucky that some people never figure it out, and they go through a whole life of wasting time, but you've supplemented your life with diving deeper into music.
yeah.
And how does that make you feel?
Feels amazing.
Yeah.
It feels like I'm progressing and constantly learning. Like how, Brandon, you were saying about the diamond in the rough that gave you some of those nuggets. It's like, let's like dovetail and just talk about more of, I don't know, any of those life nuggets that you think you got from people, or that you ponder that it's like how we were saying upstairs. Like, it's good to share those things and give that encouragement to other people. And that's kind of what this show was like directly supposed to be, is like, let's just talk about that positive energy. Let's talk about the encouragement of like where we are now, how we feel great.
Yeah.
And that it's like, yeah, when I was mentioning upstairs, like, oh, I feel successful when I've kind of like looked at myself,
Yeah.
worked on my healing. Now I'm like getting the payout from that.
Yeah.
Where it's like I'm able to do life better. I'm
Yeah.
able to take more responsibility and actually feel like, oh yeah, I've invested more in the studio or whatever, like been able to be a better friend, a
Yeah.
better boyfriend. And
I think
all
it's
those
so
things.
important to like bombard yourself with positive thoughts, and that's something I do, and I encourage other people to do, because negativity is such a powerful emotion.
Oh, yeah,
and
man.
one negative thought will drown out 5 good ones, 5 positive thoughts. So continuously like reminding yourself of things that you're doing good, and it could be the little victories.
Absolutely.
Waking up in the morning and making your bed. You know what I mean? And once you start getting those little victories, it's all about stacking. And you get on a roll, and it feels good. So reminding yourself, that of the small things in life that you're doing well, whether it's being a good friend. Like, look, we got 3 good friends here right now, and I'm learning and continue to learn from you guys a lot as this life journey goes on. But yeah, stacking up some wins and reminding yourself, and don't be afraid to pat yourself on the back of certain things that you did good. Maybe you saw someone out when you're maybe doing some grocery shopping and shooting out that compliment, because you don't know how much that could make a difference in someone's life.
Absolutely.
Makes a big difference.
Absolutely. Well, like, just going back to what you're saying in regards to like little tidbits of wisdom that I've received over the years from older people. A lot of the time I neglected that wisdom, because I feel as though you actually have to go through certain experiences to realize, that wisdom for yourself. It's really hard to
that's
just
true.
copy and paste that and give that to someone. Like, that's another thing, like learning from mistakes.
They
That's
don't really
been-
hit.
No, man, like, because
If you're
I
not ready for it, it doesn't hit.
yeah, man. Like, people have been telling me things, older dudes in my life and whatnot, little bits of wisdom that obviously they had to learn through trial and error, that I never really absorbed until I actually got that fire. That fire. When I got burnt, then I was like, wow, okay. Now I realize, like, Jimmy was not playing around. That is a
Yeah.
rattlesnake, and I am now poisoned. And obviously, like, I didn't get bitten by a rattlesnake, but if Jimmy didn't tell me about that rattlesnake, I wouldn't remember.
Yeah.
But like that's a poor analogy, but the reality is, like, I think the only real way to attain wisdom and knowledge is to actually go through it on your own, and someone can tell you something till you're blue in the face, and you're not going to really integrate it until you actually feel it.
I think it's a really mature thing when you can kind of, put your ego aside and accept help from someone. They've walked the road, and just to, not take things personal. They're trying to teach you,
Yeah, that's
and
true.
really to kind of take in what they're saying and analyze, the lesson that they're trying to teach.
Yeah, humility it requires, though. You know what I mean? And in youth, it's really difficult to put your ego aside and actually be humble enough to take that advice.
Yeah. Because a young person, a teenager, is just going to disregard it.
Well, they have a hard enough time paying attention as it is. I know I did when I was young, and I think it's a lot more oppressive, like the mental state of the youth, considering like just social media being like the pinnacle of everyone's day-to-day interaction now. So it's like, it's a different world we're living in, man.
How would you address like yourself if you were the youth now, given internet age and phones and stuff? Would you?
I don't know.
I think finding someone like elders or people who have wisdom that you trust, and finding someone that, who is obviously doing the right things already and just letting them kind of steer you.
Yeah, but
How do we do that better though, as like a culture and a society where school's hard? It's often brutal, like on people and your self-confidence and bullying and then you're trying to concentrate at the end of all that. It's almost, for me, it was
y'all
super,
got
super
y'all got to
hard.
be on the same page too. You know what I mean? And we live in a very divided society. So that's very difficult. How can we bring everyone together to accept certain terms and agree upon certain subjects? Man, you know what we need? We need a good old dictatorship. Like that, I'm just playing, but you want everyone to agree on something. Like that's how you get people to agree on something, man.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, I think it's, like, I want to bring it up again. It's like, finding an older person who has some skills and capabilities, someone that you like and you look up to.
Yeah.
It's like we'll put
It's
it
a mentor,
in
right?
a hockey example. Like, a young person will look at Sidney Crosby, and see, okay, well, what's he doing? Before the hockey game that makes them successful, and during the hockey game, and in the off season, like finding someone that you trust and like that you want to be like, and
How do you find those people though?
Yeah.
Okay, so if it's not the sports person, it's not the like
they find you,
the
Paul.
yeah, that's true.
The teacher finds
the
the
church
student.
mentor,
yeah,
the prospective job mentor.
yeah,
Yeah.
Like who else is there? And like maybe that's something that we need to like
So like we're
grow
lacking.
that part that feels like, oh man, like good positive people that are healthy, that are the mentors. Like I could think
we're
of
lacking
two.
that immensely in society. Just the initiation rights for male and females within the West. Why do you think you have people pursuing hedonism, blatantly, and nihilism? There is nothing outside of pleasure, right? Because you're going to a gray, dull job, or you're going out and below 20 to go wax some nails or fucking put some wires together, and then you're getting off that at the end of the
Not
day.
inspired, yeah.
No, people aren't, so you got to find that inspiration within your own heart and soul. Like that's passion, right? You find that, and that's what you pursue outside of the dullness of the day-to-day life, and then you find other people who are also inspired, because otherwise, what you're going to be pursuing is pleasure, to take your mind away from the grayness of life, because life is beautiful if you make it beautiful.
So what would that look like? Like a community hub of like potential mentorship and apprenticeship type something, or
Yeah,
like,
and
what
it
does
can't
that
be on
really
like a
look
massive industrial scale, right? So that's like it has to be starting at the roots level. Like it has to be in communities, right? That's the only way. It would have to start on a micro level, and you can't have it ever grow to a macro level, because then you take it's completely impersonal at that point. You want to have a relationship, man, think about it. You can only have a relationship with so many people in your life,
Yeah.
right? So it has to be on a smaller level, right? And that has to be implemented all across your society. Our societies are so impersonal now because they're, industrialized messes where no one knows each other anymore. You throw in social media and all these other digital facets into the world, no one's connected whatsoever, right? You pretend to be connected. You're staring at one another through a gray, dull screen. You don't know that individual, and you're envying their life. You don't know that individual themselves isn't happy, and that's the reality. It's all an illusion, and the only way you break that illusion is through actually going into it.
Well, and I think too, like look at what you guys are putting together right now. You guys are starting a podcast of optimism and positivity. That's you guys being leaders, and you're this is just the beginning. Where's it going to be in the future? And you're saying, well, how do we find these people to be leaders for the future? And those people, they come out like what you guys are doing. You're stepping out and you're being leaders right now, you know? And at some point in time, someone may tune into this podcast, hear you guys speak, and they'll agree with what you're saying, you know, and the message that you guys are putting across. So the leaders, it's hard to go and find them because like I tell Brando this all the time, like often there's people who are in leadership roles, but they're only there because they've been there for X amount of time. Yeah. Leaders are people that people follow because they maybe bring certain attributes to the table, you know, and people decide who the leaders are, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Look
kind
at
of
Canada.
fall into place.
Yeah.
The glorious leaders.
Thinking about, Jody and Thunder Bay doing the Howl at the Moon sober bar. We went and looked at called a couple places the following day to be like, how much is it to really lease something and start something
it
cool?
Ain't cheap.
Well, it's doable though.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
there's possibilities depending if that's something we want to go or.
That's why
is there a way to build a natural kind of like out of town one that's like cooler, that's about more being, you know,
like an underground.
Finding your roots in nature and like
what are those places called? Like during Prohibition.
Underground Railroad of like
no, like Prohibition. Like I was gonna say a bootlegging spot, you know, but there's no booze involved whatsoever, so it's really just
bootlegging your soul.
Yeah.
But I think you know, there's more people who'd be inclined to go to a place like that, a sober bar, than what you actually think. And if you were to, you know, maybe like I used to study marketing, and a lot of it's collecting data. And like figuring, like sending out maybe some questionnaires, like, is this something that you would be interested in? And you know, listening to the people, well, what would you want there? Is there board games that you like? Is there a certain type of music? Is there a certain type of event? Food?
Art, the stuff.
We have to establish
the inspirational material.
It has to be the personal that separates
you know?
the impersonal, because when people go out nowadays, everyone doesn't know, like you're going out to be impersonal, and that's why you're drinking, to disassociate, right? And then you're interacting with other people who are disassociating as well, and then you're giving into hedonism and nihilism just because that's what society propels you towards, you know? Everyone's like, oh, let's just, weird. I don't know who you are, but I want to have sex with you. It's like, it's fucking wild that our society's gone to this. Let's face facts.
This. Okay, you open up this sober bar, and there's a night of the week that you play a board game or any type of game. I like Skippo, but you play a game with people that you don't know. And you go in there, and it you know, and that's where I think you'll build a community.
Meet friends.
You know, because why do people go to the bar? Because you go there because you want to meet some people and socialize. And people are using alcohol as a lubricant to meet people that they don't know. But you don't need alcohol to meet people. You got to ask them questions. Hey, like, what do you do? What do you like? We're playing Scrabble. What's the best amount of points you ever got out of a word? You know, this is a place where people could feel comfortable.
Yeah.
You know? So, I think it's a really great idea. I think it's something that I would attend for sure.
Yeah.
And it's just, building a culture. A place where people are like, hey, I'm going...
Building a new cult.
Yeah.
Positive cult.
I'm going to the Prohibition right now, and I've had...
That would be a good name for it, eh? The Prohibition.
Yeah. That's hilarious.
Yeah. So, hey, if that's something that you guys want to develop...
You want to let your guard down, right? That was a part of alcohol, is to like lower your, lower the standards or the guard. Yeah. But then you could do it in a positive way where you get to just kind of be more vulnerable in a place where you could
be yourself.
Be yourself and actually talk to people in a realistic way that's like how good. And
man, that's a huge issue nowadays, though.
Dude, how
people
fun is that,
are disconnecting
from. That's why rock climbing's so
it's
fun.
Like having
you do that, you know.
Yeah, it's a space where you can actually get to know yourself through getting to know other people again. Because I think that's like we're having this conversation, but I remember when I was at like a really low point in my life and I was boozing all the time and whatever, who knows what else. I didn't know who the hell I was. I
know
thought,
what else.
you know what I mean, though? Like, I didn't
Yeah.
know who I was whatsoever. I was searching for myself through all of these external validators consistently, and I couldn't, you know, I'd go to other countries and be like, I'm gonna figure it out here, and drink this jungle juice, and be tripping balls under the moonlight, and be like, I finally figured it out. And the next day, it's like, oh, I haven't figured out anything. I'm just as lost as I was previously.
Yeah.
You know, getting to know yourself. It's that nitty gritty, down in the dirt. You know,
And not being
work.
ashamed of embarrassing yourself.
No, man.
When you kind of like, I found this as I got older was when you know who you are. I got my pros, I got my cons, you know, but I'm me. And that's like everyone is just themselves, you know, and just to go out there and have the confidence. Confidence is a big thing. And I think that's something maybe a lot of young people are lacking nowadays. Just be yourself. You know what I mean? And people will gravitate towards you. And you do something funny and just go like you say you're doing karaoke. Well, not everyone's a singer like Adele. Just go out there and enjoy yourself, and people are gonna join in. But confidence, I think that's something that why people drink.
Self-confidence.
Yeah, self-confidence. Like for me, I used to be an avid drinker, and it was like I did it because it brought me out of my shell, and I could I use this as a crutch. When really it's like I want people just to know who I am as a person. And I'm Spence.
Yeah,
Here I
damn
am.
right
I'm
you
on the
are.
talk show with the boys, and it's like we're having a great time. Like we've been chatting, prior to the mic for at least an hour.
Like 6 hours before this too. So
Yeah.
like,
and and that's another important thing too is sitting together and bouncing ideas off each other.
Yeah.
Like and your friends will say, hey, that's a crappy idea or a good idea, and you're able to kind of to build.
Yes.
Having a group of friends that you can I talk to Brando about life stuff all the time, and having someone that you trust. I tell Brando everything, and when you have
I don't even ask most of the time.
but when you have a couple true friends in your life, you don't feel alone, and you're able to really feel confident,
Absolutely.
Well, it makes life worth living too, because you have something to look forward to as the blossoming friendship and the adventures and the, building
And
your
having
good times and
having
stuff.
true friends,
Yeah.
if you can have the amount of true friends that you can count on your hand, you're blessed.
Yeah, totally, man. Totally.
It's not about having 1,000 friends anymore. It's about having some good friends that you can be authentic with, and share your experiences with. I feel bad for Brando because he's like my therapist, but he's not making much money out of it.
Yeah.
But
That's all good, bro.
But,
I'll have a mental
you build
breakdown
each other
eventually,
up.
and you'll help me.
yeah,
Pay it forward.
That's it.
But having good friends to build life together, no one can do this alone,
No.
And
There's a good quote. I can't remember who said it, but someone said it. It's like, if you can tolerate life alone, you're either a beast or a god, right? You're either like an animal or you're above humanity. Because if you live in isolation, man, it's...
well, no one can do it because
Man, you can
I'm
try.
on planet Earth, and there's
Yeah.
not very many gods out there. I don't think
There's only one.
there's only one.
You could only be a hermit for so long also.
Yeah,
You need friends.
yeah. Another thing I think is really good, and if there was a young person kind of listening to this, life can be stressful and stuff like that. And I started journaling, and it's like something that I never thought I would do. Sit down, but you're often in life you get all this emotion pent up in your chest and your mind, and to write that down and to get it out, it feels so good, And then the one thing that I really like about it too is, as you write these journal entries, you're able to go back and you're like, hey, I was feeling this way. I was feeling happy this day, or I was feeling bad this day. Well, what was going on? And you can analyze it. Hey, I skipped 3 meals that day and I felt like absolute dog shit. Or, I felt really good this day. I went for a run and the endorphins were going. So journaling, if there's a young person out there, it's actually a really fun thing to do. And once you start to write, it flows. Yeah. And I'm not a writer. I'm just but sometimes I look back at myself, I'm like, I'm writing some pretty cool stuff.
I have a lot to say actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's, get a journal and make it fun. Write everything down and
Good, the bad, the ugly.
the good, the bad, and in between. And that was something actually funny enough that I said to myself before. And there's a story behind it or whatever. But yeah, that's what makes life beautiful. Life isn't always going to be sunshine and rainbows. You're going to be faced with some trials and tribulations.
Yeah.
But taking those hard times as the lessons and, enjoying the good times. But the good times don't always last forever. You're going to run into, someone's going to flip you off in the street,
Yeah.
but don't let
Just
that
go fucking sock that guy in the face, right?
All the challenges.
Yeah, but that's something that
Constant
I
challenges.
really love is the good, the bad, and the in between, and that's what makes life beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a saying that I've said to myself before, and I guess I'll say the story because we were kind of on air. I remember one time I was doing a lot of self reflection, and I said, thank God for the good, the bad, and the in between, because that's what makes life truly beautiful. The plant and the flower. It doesn't have to be perfect. It could have some petals that are curled or whatever. But anyways, I was in my bed, and the next morning I woke up and I went outside to my truck. I was going to work, and my truck was ransacked. I guess I didn't lock it at night, and someone went through it and went through my glove box and all this stuff. My shit was all over the place, and I remember thinking, the good, the bad, and the in between. And typically I would have got mad, but I just laughed. I was like, this is part of life too, like someone going through your shit, and they didn't get anything. I didn't have really any change in there, and I feel bad for the person who went through it, but not letting the negativity get you down sometimes,
Yeah.
you just laugh at,
Yeah.
Duality, man.
Yeah.
We're so soft in the comforts of our Western society in comparison to like what people really go through.
But even
On a-
someone at work,
on a-
they could be giving you a hard time. And it's like, you don't know what this person's going through. Maybe they're just projecting onto you.
Yeah.
And trying to bring you down too when they've got whatever going on in their life, and just reassuring yourself like, hey, like I'm doing pretty good. I went to work today,
But how do you fix that, right? Do you respond in kind? No, that's not the proper way to do it. You got to show love, man.
Yeah.
Like that's the only way you're going to ever beat back that hate, right?
Mm-hmm.
And even like when you go through a dark time, like if you're going to fall into that void, how do you think that's going to, resolve itself? It's only going to get worse and worse if you allow it to get worse. And that's the same thing with interactions on the street and whatnot. If someone's going and like
Giving
through
you a
some
hard time.
darkness and giving you a hard time, you got to respond to that with love, man. They can't give you anything after a while.
Yeah. The ripple effects of either a negative interaction or a positive, you could create the ripple that's good and that'll keep going for a little bit. And yeah, that's true, to be mindful of that.
Yeah, and it doesn't take much to start a positive ripple. You could just see someone out and about. I do this all the time. To me, it's normal. If you see someone and it's like, hey, I like your hat, and it's like that. You don't know what someone's kind of going through a day. Maybe that someone just saying that to you, it's like, whoa, that made them feel good about themselves, because. Like, I like to think I walk around, like, I'm pretty confident in myself, but not everyone is like that, So just a couple words can really change how they feel. That could change their month
Yeah.
at the end of the day.
Yeah, they could be on the verge.
Well, and the self-esteem and self-confidence that you can just be doling out instead of holding it in and be kind of like a autonomous person just going through. You could be just spreading more
good vibrations
all over the place.
Yeah, man.
And it's so good medicine to just stay in that mindset and keep on going,
Yeah. Yeah, you're feeding that wolf, right? And others need a bit of meat too, so you got to toss it their way as well, right? You got to share that. You don't just keep it all yourself. That's gluttony, even on an energetic level. That's sitting.
Yeah, don't hold it in.
No,
spread the good energy.
It's like I'm a
got
ball of light, Like let that go around.
Especially
bro.
if you're blessed too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like if you're at the time sitting in a good position, like share the wealth with people who may be down and out, Yeah, for me, like I'm such an optimistic person, and I can find the good in any person, and just try to make people feel good about themselves. Encourage them. Be a leader, be a captain. Those are characteristics of a leader. Is someone who picks people up when they're down. And I think a lot of people in society are down these days, but anything's possible. You know, like believe in yourself, put a plan together, and make it happen. Planning is a big thing too, and I think that's something that maybe people need to do more often. It's, you know, when you're looking at when you're looking at the grand picture of things, it's like, say I want to run a marathon. Well, that seems like a really daunting task. But when you break it down, it's like, well, I'm going to start running, and I'm going to start running a kilometer. You know, and you can accomplish that, and you accomplish it, and then it's like, okay, well now I'm going to step it up a little bit. I'm going to run 2 kilometers. And then next thing you know, you've kind of worked your way up to it. You're not just going to run the marathon right off the bat. Yeah. You'll have a stroke, you know. But putting a well-structured plan together, and it could be anything like, you know, I need to do the dishes. Well, get yourself to the kitchen. Put some music on, you know, like find something that makes you capable of doing it.
Yeah, man. The small victories, like we were saying.
Yeah,
that's what adds up over
planning.
time, right? That's how you win the war.
Yeah.
Do you ever really win the war, though?
Yeah, you do.
War of life?
The calendar upstairs to me is like the winning victories.
Yeah. When did you start doing that?
Probably like 3 or 4 years ago, just so I could see all the stuff that I'm accomplishing, even the small victories. And like,
do you put like a check mark on there, and it's like,
I'll put like mucho bueno, or like, you know, whatever, double check mark if it's really good, or like, you know, just, and it fills up, and in each day, like knowing that I did a little bit for, you know, the quadrants of yourself.
Yeah.
Feel great. And then it's, I keep sharing that as one of those like little nuggets that's like, hey man, it starts simple. And it's like you could do a really simple calendar and start seeing your progress, and it's really, really helpful. And then it could get more complex as you get more comfortable with just like doing life in a, you know, mature way, which takes some time, but it's possible and it's doable.
When you think too, like sometimes like, you know, you wake up in the morning and you're like, fuck, do I have a doctor's appointment today? And it's like, as humans, we're, you know, we have limited capabilities. And it's like to have that thing written down, and it's like you can refer to that, you know, because sometimes good ideas, they come to your mind, write it down. Same thing for the calendar. Oh, I got this appointment on this day, write it down. Then you actually don't even need to remember it. You just need to go to the board. And you go to the board and you're like, holy shit, it's right. I'm not going to, unless you lose your ability to read, you're not going to forget it.
Somewhere where you see it every day, and it's kind of like your journal if you like had it in the open so you could like reflect on it more or something. To me, it's almost a little bit of that kind of thing where it's kind of your personal stuff, just somewhere where you could see it. And it's
so what kind of things do you put on the calendar? Just
kind of everything.
Yeah. I was like, maybe if there was a young person, they want to start a calendar, like you put.
It's like just anything that you need to organize or be better at, or like your fitness goals, or like go do this. And if you see it, you're like, oh, I'm gonna go run 3 times this week, or I started eating super clean, super healthy. Then I was like, okay, I tracked. Just put a little H for healthy. How many days did I eat healthy?
Yeah.
So then I'm seeing, oh, I did 2 weeks of healthiness, dropped 10 pounds, feel better.
That happened?
Oh, yeah.
No way.
Just from eating healthy. Like, and like the little things that you're like, you know, if you're patient with like the overall process, you're like, okay, it's stacking up. The studio time.
Yeah.
My bookings, like just having everything there, you know, and it's like, I keep referring to it, and then I tear off that month. I'm like, dude, that month was amazing.
Yeah.
You know, and it's
Let's
like,
beat it. Let's make next month
just
even better.
The week, or like the bigger goals that you have of like, oh, it'd be cool to, you know, do a podcast, start something, you know, that's extracurricular, but it's like community orientated, or like, you know, bigger goals with like, oh, it'd be cool to get some land where you could like do something and build something, you know, and see who wants to be a part of that, or like, I don't know, whatever you could. That's kind of like what this podcast was like. It's like exploring the potential and trying to just get more energy towards that, and being like, you know, we could challenge ourselves, learn from each other, share with audience, get feedback from people, be like, oh, this worked for me.
Yeah. And if you inspire
we'll try that, you know? It's like,
and if you inspire one person from this podcast, it's all worth it.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, and it's, we want to build the fire and keep stoking the flames, and and try to like stay on that good vibration and, you know,
Yeah.
just keep it going. Like,
Well, I think you guys are off to a really
see
good start.
see
man.
where to push against the our own system. We know some of the parts that bug us,
Yeah.
you know, and it's like when we were talking about like freedom or like things that got the hooks in us.
Yeah.
We need to help each other do that because those are hard things, and it does take inspiration. It does take mentorship. It does take good art and expression. It does take other stuff, and we want to like make that work better as like a moving mechanism, you know, for the culture that's lacking in that.
Yeah. Well, one thing
It
I
takes
found-
artists and it
yeah.
takes people to kind of like drum up the
Inspiration.
inspiration or the leadership and the things that are going to fill those needs, you know, because it's like a friggin'
Well, I think one thing like that we're kind of talking about like the system a little bit. I find sometimes the system not really geared towards young boys and young men, you know, because like I just look at myself, for example. I always had a hard time sometimes, you know, sitting still in class and reading and stuff like that. And I think for the longest time, like the trades was kind of a poo-pooed route for young people. And for me, I encourage any young person out there to try a trade and work with your hands, because that is a really awesome way and fulfilling way. You see some of the projects that you're working on, and I'm not like the creme de la creme guy, but you know, you're able to look back and be like, hey, I worked on that project. And even if it was just a minute part. So like getting into the trades and developing those skills and knowing like, yeah, some people have university degrees and that's great and that works for them, but it's not for everyone. Sitting down and writing, you know, a thesis and stuff. Be proud of being part of the trades and, you know, clock into work and building society.
learning a skill.
Yeah,
Learning an actual skill that does something.
Yeah, and I from like a little example of me, I got myself into the trades and I started to kind of build this confidence, and I had to do some work on my truck. And if before I was in the trades, I would have never, you know, daunted myself with the task. But I was like, you know what? Actually, it's a wise man told me if they can do it, you can do it too. You got to just kind of analyze the situation and do a little bit of research. So I did some research on, you know, doing my brakes and stuff like that, and I did it, you know. And it's like for me, it's like I never thought I was going to be able to do something, but now that I've gotten kind of better with my hands and understanding the works and talking to people, I when I did my brakes, I had a really good buddy, Rob, beside me, and he knew full well on how to do it, but he made me do it. And I was kind of struggling at certain points. But, like, when you struggle, you learn, you know? And, like, now I have the capability to always do that. So, like, yeah, jump into really uncomfortable circumstances because you're going to learn that and then you're going to be able to do it forever. And, you know, there's a financial kind of gain in that. Like, I saved a hell of a lot of money just doing it myself, you know?
Yeah.
And, yeah, I'll never forget those words from Grandpa, him saying, like, you know, if they can do it, you can do it too. It's just putting a plan together and figuring it out. So, yeah, go out there and put yourself in situations where it's hard, you know, and you're going to learn a lot about, are you going to give up? No, you can't, because you're going to sit with your truck with the tire off and you're not driving anywhere. You got to finish the job. And it may take more time than what you anticipated, but man, the gratification, brakes, they're not overly complicated, but
it's not rocket science, but it's something, and a lot of people aren't even willing to put in the effort to see what it is. Like, you don't know until you find out, right? And, you know, on that note, someone told me a long time ago, the first boss I ever had when I was doing trees, it was a long day. And at the end of it, it was like going back to the truck, and I was like, oh my God. And he was just like, hey, man. No, he was like, hey, man, the hard way is the easy way. The easy way is the hard way.
Oh,
and
wow.
you think about that for a second. Like, the hard way is what is going to acclimatize you to overcome difficulty and challenges. So that when you're faced with adversity in the future, you've actually already been down that road and you can continue past it, you know? And the easy way is the hard way, because if you don't actually ever challenge yourself, you're going to come across adversity and you're going to be broken.
Comfortability kills.
You know, comfortability really
that's
does kill.
And that's a good one, yeah.
That's a huge part of our society nowadays. People are like, oh, it's the weakness, it's all that. It's like, no, people just haven't challenged themselves because we're so accustomed to the easy comfort, everything's coming to you. And if that's
Instant
occurring,
gratification.
precisely, you know, and how can you ever grow if you're not willing to challenge yourself? Like that's what it boils down to. You gotta go the mile, man. You know, and
On that note, what would be a good challenge for us for like the next week till the next thing? Is there anything that,
Like in our day-to-day life?
yeah, just something that is gonna challenge you? You know, I was just reflecting on that, and it's like, I'm gonna press that button, Brando. Just like the
What can we do to
idea of
challenge
being
ourselves?
like challenge accepted. That's like, you know, there's going to be growth.
Yeah.
It's like instant growth is like taking on a challenge,
Yeah.
basically, right? So it's like, I like that,
So
being challenged with different
yeah.
things. And
I think for me, my challenge, I do want to start a business one day,
Okay.
and I've kind of started a business plan for this business. Finish it.
Okay.
That's my challenge right there for myself. Finish it.
Good challenge.
Yeah.
absolutely.
Anything come to mind for you guys?
Oh, I've been pursuing a couple different challenges, but you know what's coming to mind? Like, not really. You know, I'm keeping up with everything that I want to be doing right now. There's always room for improvement in so many different avenues. I haven't really thought about that,
Here's a challenge.
and that's something to think about.
Yeah.
Challenge yourself to actually explore what other options you want to pursue.
Finish your
in the
album.
future.
That's
Yeah.
your challenge.
Yeah, I'm
partially
working on
this
that.
year.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think finishing the music that I've started is a challenge. I have a hard time focusing onto myself. I need to do that.
I have a challenge for you guys.
What's a good one?
The challenge is tell someone who's in your life that you appreciate them and stuff that they do for you.
Hey, brother, appreciate you.
Hell yeah. Hell fucking yeah, boy.
Challenge accepted and done. What's next?
But the little victories, like, you know, go out there and find someone who they mean a lot to you.
Yeah.
Remind them of that.
Yeah.
You know, like,
And those that you don't know either, you know, I think that's what would make we were talking about that earlier, like just complimenting strangers, you
Yeah.
know, actually
Going
breaking
through the
down
struggle
that,
and
you
just
know, you don't
doing
know.
it.
Man, I see people like we're in Ottawa, right? There are some people out there that are struggling, you know, and they're out there with their hands open and whatnot, and people are disregarding them, left, right, and center. And instead of like just disregarding them, show them a bit of love, man.
have
you
some
know?
humanity.
Like like that's what we got more
Yeah.
than ever before. You know, that's what we got to bring back is our own humanity, especially like in the coming age that we're in, right? You know, with artificial intelligence and all of this, you know, inhumanity. We got to bring back our own humanity, and that's where it all starts.
Yeah.
The disconnection is only healed by reconnecting.
Yeah.
You know.
And just so you guys know, I'm going to follow up with that challenge in probably a week.
Your
So-
challenge.
Well, yeah, just telling someone that you appreciate them.
Yeah, man.
You don't have, like, for me, I'm at the point in time in my life, I share what I want to share. If I appreciate someone, I'm going to tell them. You know what I mean? And, you know, that's probably not typical of a man or whatever. Men seem to want to keep their emotions inside them. But, you know, I think it's really important to share those things. You know what I mean? Because we're all a team here. We're all working together, and we got to work together as a team to get to the top. And the top is whatever you decide the top is, you know? But, yeah, just I think telling someone that you appreciate could be your mom, could be your dad, could be a friend,
Yeah.
could be anybody. You know, and I'm sure that's gonna make them feel good, and it's gonna make you feel good too, man. It's that love, you know, going back and forth, the positive vibrations. So that's my challenge towards you guys, and I'm gonna do it too.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely,
Many. We
brother.
could do more than one. We could do probably like 10.
Yeah. Yeah. I think a good
Or
challenge.
just every day do it.
Yeah.
A good
Don't let a
challenge is
day
to-
go by where you haven't been appreciative of somebody in a realistic way that is acknowledging.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Absolutely, man. And like also like determine what challenges that you're working towards and what you're trying to accomplish, you know? Write the bigger picture, you know? Like you stubbed me with that because I wasn't actually aware of what I was trying to work towards. Like I'm working towards certain things, but what's the bigger picture? You know,
Well,
challenge yourself to
yeah.
see the bigger picture.
Yeah. I was
you
gonna
know,
s-
and see
I wanted to say,
how
like-
everything's trying to line up.
Multiple levels of challenges. So there
Yeah,
could
man.
be like that interpersonal challenge. There could be the bigger goal challenge. There could be the career challenge, the musical challenge.
Oh, yeah.
all the different ones. Yeah, we should try to just like
Well, for young
be
people-
more aware of those ones, and like that's a challenge in itself, is to
Dream big.
Well, and multifaceted with our challenging,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I keep thinking of that like Howl at the Moon type thing.
Yeah.
And it's like, what are the glass ceilings that are the illusions that you crash through
No
those
more
and be like,
ceilings.
dude, it doesn't have to be a ceiling, especially if we got more people that are interested in that. And then see where the next things lie and be like, those kind of challenges open up more challenges.
Yeah.
So it's like,
I love that you bring that up, though. No more ceilings. Dream big, and that's something like that everyone should be doing. Young people, old people, like, don't get yourself trapped in a box. Think
Yeah.
big. You know what I mean? Like we need more of that, of people thinking big in society.
Yeah. You're worthy of having good dreams. Yeah.
Like, oh, I want to be in a band. You can be on the big stage. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like everything is possible. Like,
You
like,
just got to put the effort towards it.
Yeah.
You know?
Start chipping.
The thing is, like, people are always like, oh, you got to manifest it. It's like, what does that even mean? You can't just think of something that's going to appear.
you
over
can't
time.
do that.
Well, no, but you have to
Damn
put
right
the
you
effort
can.
towards it, right?
Yeah.
So it's like you think of what you want to do, and then, we're talking about the little wins. Each and every day you're working towards that big win. And then when you actually accomplish what you perceive as that big win, it's not even that big of a win because the wins never end. You got to keep working towards what you actually are trying to
They're
accomplish.
just
It's never
steps.
ending.
They're just steps. Yeah.
Right? So on that note, that's what we're all trying to get towards. What are you trying to get towards? Don't stop, because it's never going to end. That's life, man. Think about it.
Yeah.
It's not going to end. You're going to accomplish something that you thought was your life goal. That was just a part of your life. Where you at now? Because that threshold only goes higher. That's life itself, right? You never get to the end of it until you get to the end of it. And then you don't really know what's beyond that.
Well, kind of where my mind's going right now, like, you got this podcast going. Maybe there could be like a spin-off of some sort, like you make like some sort of charity and something that you kind of donate to, I don't know what that could be, but it's just kind of an idea that just crossed my mind because we're all about spreading positivity and helping people grow. How do you help people grow? Maybe, I don't know.
Well, the
it's-
Howl at the Moon place does take extra fundage.
Yeah.
That was one thing that
Enormously
he's talking
so.
about. So it's like to keep that overhead and keep
Is that
up-
a charity?
Well, no, it's like a sober bar.
Yeah.
And like how are they making their overhead and how they like keeping the doors open for
Yeah.
people to go and have that greatness there.
Yeah.
Well, that's
It's kind of like
symbiosis, though. That's what Jody was saying. Like,
Symbiosis and,
he's
like,
working with everyone
finding
that he
ways
has
to
coming
make
as
it
clientele.
work, so
Yeah.
through a little bit of charitable help and donation and then putting on shows, selling some good food, making some opportunities, like
Yeah.
being creative basically is to, but also, you could do charity stuff.
Yeah.
I think of the big project as like the clean water stuff for
Yeah.
our northern communities and all this
Hell
stuff
yeah.
around. Big goals that is totally doable, and we just need to crack into
Many
it more.
hands to make light work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I want to share one of the quotes that when you were just like speaking, I was thinking of like Kapoji quote of like, when was the best time to plant a tree? He's like 20 years ago.
Hell
Kapoji is like one of the champion runners in the whole world, and he's like a very humble guy. Seems like amazing,
Yeah.
and he's like the tree of discipline. When is the best time to plant that tree? He's like today, and it's like discipline was always a hard thing to get my mind around because it's like I had negative understanding of it. Like discipline is like harsh and
Someone hitting you
hurtful,
with a stick or yelling
hurtful,
at you.
or like but where it's like it needed to form that self-discipline is like self-love, and like that tree of discipline of the self-love, you start to see it in that light. You're like, dude, you're loving yourself and forming your own discipline that's going to carry through your whole life and help you become a man.
Yeah.
Like that is the best thing that you could start planting and watering those seeds whenever you possibly could start. So it's like, that's a challenge, where it's like
Planting the seed of discipline.
and like hope in yourself, because those things need that, like how you're just saying, you need to put in the work for it. Yeah. And the work is that discipline, but that is your self-love into your dreams and into yourself being like, dude, I am worthy of doing those things, you know?
Yeah. Like believing in yourself that, like I used to say this thing, like believe in the hero in you. Like imagine yourself, and I used to kind of do this sometimes. Like if you were a superhero, what kind of abilities? Like what would you be like? You know what I mean? Like for me, it's like you
The bad guy.
robbing banks, but no, like just like like believe in yourself as big as you can, and like you can have any ability that you want.
Yeah, you just got to work towards it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, you're not gonna know unless you kind of ask yourself those questions of like, what do you want to do? What is the dream? If you're allowed to dream, what are you gonna dream for? You know, and
yeah, dreaming.
start stacking towards the bigger pictures of your own potential, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. I love that. Dream big. Don't let anyone like stop you from dreaming.
Yeah, or the naysayers and the people that are projecting on you like, oh, I didn't follow my dreams, so let me just try to crush yours a little bit. It's like, no, man, you got to build up the people and let them fly. Like, what are we doing
what's
here?
That, it's a saying like, or whatever, like if you can envision something, it can become.
It's manifesting.
Like just manifesting. Because if you can close your eyes and see yourself doing something, well, then it's possible, you know?
Yeah.
Like say you want to be planting a garden. Well, you're going to see yourself hunched over, planting the seeds, getting the watering can. Like just really envision that. And
then wake up the next day, grab that can of water and go plant those seeds.
It's called manifesting?
And do it.
Yeah, manifesting.
Well, that's what it sounds like you're discussing.
Whatever
you're seeing it in your eye, right?
Yeah.
In your mind.
When you close your eyes at night, when you're going to bed, dream of it and then make it happen.
Make it happen. Write it on the calendar or write it on your journal or write it somewhere. Put it somewhere because then you're actually taking the thought manifestation, you're writing it into real life and making kind of like a attempt of a plan.
And there's a science behind that.
Attempt of a plan.
There's a science behind that. If you write something down, it's more inclined to happen. Like putting the pen to the paper it's step one of everything.
Making it real. You're taking it from your brain and bringing it into the physical world, and then it's almost a action step.
Yeah.
It's almost like on the itinerary of like a
what
plan,
you
know?
Yeah, take action.
You got to follow through and be like, hey, man, run around the block once.
Yeah.
Like, just start. Mm-hmm. And then anything really is possible from that. I'll share with you one more really good one about the running.
Yeah.
My brother went to rehab, and one of the things that he ended up doing that was like amazing was starting to run.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, let's see this. I'm like, running is great, obviously. Mm-hmm. And when I first started stop smoking, that struggle in putting something like running as the goal was hard because I couldn't run, and it took like that first block.
They counter each other kind
of. Oh, it was brutal. Like my lungs couldn't handle it. And I started with a block, got to 2 blocks, got to the 1K.
Yeah.
The 1K and back was 2K. And within a month, I got to 10K.
Yeah.
And then it just was like, okay, I'm a runner again.
Yeah.
And I can't smoke. Mm-hmm. And that was
you don't even want to smoke.
You can't. Yeah,
like, why was I doing
it's
that?
antithetical to being a breathing person that's like open and running. So it's like I transformed in such a positive way through those little things that were like, you know, the small challenges. Start with the block and then get to 2 blocks. Mm-hmm. It's doable, and it's like we gotta, you know, just kind of start small and get there. But I always go back to like just those small things that ended up stacking up so quickly, and before I knew it, that it became monumental. That I was like, I wasn't expecting 10K.
Yeah.
And that was always like, oh, like runners do 10K.
Yeah, it's impossible. I can't do that.
Or just like that's what, you know, people that train and all, you know, whatever. It's like it just came and manifested, and there it was. But if you had that as a plan, then it would be probably even easier instead of just a backwards way of like being really unhealthy and then like grasping at straws to get to be a runner.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know what I'm trying to say with that, but like.
Well, no, what you said was great.
Anything is doable.
Mm-hmm. If you put the work in.
If you put it in the work and start with the small step and try to.
When it comes to running, the small step.
Yeah.
You started with a step. And now you're doing.
Small, painful step.
Yeah.
Put your little foot forwards.
Well, and it's never too late. You know, you think like, oh, like, you know, you smoked for a long time. Maybe you're thinking, oh, I could never become a runner. But
yeah, it's never too late.
But you had the belief inside of you, like, I can do this, you know?
Yeah.
And your body's resilient. And even though you did smoke for that number of years, your body's going to recover. So it's never too late to start something. Doesn't matter your age, doesn't matter for a lot of factors holding you back. You can do it.
One big step towards me finding my personal discipline also, and the hard knock way of trying to learn discipline was that. And then staying consistent, that now, like, years and years later, I'm still running. I'm trying to do it every day and that kind of thing. I'm like, I'm sticking with it. I'm sticking with something.
Man.
Making it discipline, and I'm making it consistent for myself, where it's like, I don't want to miss out. I don't want to miss out on a run.
Yeah, and I've seen, and this is a kind of a leadership thing in your own part, is you've had some people tag along with you. You've had your girlfriend tag along with you. You've had June tag along with you, and maybe there's other people that I don't even know about that have tagged along with you. But
I run with Paul all the time. I was about to say, like, I was 6 months sober when I first moved into Paul's.
Yeah.
And
but did he initiate the first run for you?
Yeah,
So there you go.
And after that, I started running almost every day, and then I ran a half marathon.
Yeah.
Last year, and been going pretty steady into it ever since. And it can really change your life, just taking that initiative. Like, I'm not. I prefer many other things over running consistently, but It's 1 foot in, man.
Yeah. But
persist where you resist.
Yeah. But we were talking about, like, leadership and how do we decide the people that are leaders? You proved it right there. You know what I mean? You started doing something, and then the community was coming behind you, And that's an amazing thing, And how many more people are going to tag along on that journey along the way? I've ran with you before.
That's true.
You know what I mean? So we proved it right there that the leaders go out and they do stuff, and you weren't looking for any gratification from anybody. It was something that you knew was the right thing to do. You went out and did it, and people see that. It's infectious, man. You see people doing good things. You're like, yo, I want to be on that train too, because he's slimming down and he's, getting faster, and it's that competitive nature,
I love giving people the props, the runner's nod when you're running.
Yeah.
You're like, you see them, you're like,
getting it, buddy.
Getting it.
You're putting in the work.
He's getting
right?
it. They're getting it. I love seeing it. And that's like some of the best runs where you're like, don't let a single person that's getting it go by without acknowledging, hey, you know?
Yeah.
You're killing it right now.
Well, and it's funny that you bring that up, because sometimes, like, I walk the river with my dog Bauer, and I'll see people running by, and I almost kind of envision it like, like when you're in a race and you're coming down the final stretch and you see people like saying, hey, like, you're doing great. I do that. It's kind of maybe an odd thing to do, but I like to think, like, me saying that, like, hey, you're doing great or whatever, it's going to make them push a little bit more. Maybe they're retired in the moment and they're thinking, fuck, this run's grueling, And then I come along, Mr. Optimistic Spence, saying, hey, you're doing great.
Helps.
And it's like, they're just like, yo, that may give them a gust of energy.
It gives you a boost for sure.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude. I love doing that.
Run club. Everybody get your shoes.
Yeah.
Small investment, man.
No,
shoes. That's it.
Well, it's funny that you bring up that word too, is
shoes.
investing.
Oh.
Invest in yourself, though. You know what I mean? Like,
crazy good investment.
Like a pair of shoes, what, $100,
Yeah.
$150? But and for me, like, I'm a big thing investing in a haircut. I go to my barber, Sam. Brando goes to him too. I pay $40 for a haircut, but when I walk out of that place, I feel like $1 million. And the return that you're getting on the running shoes. Like, look at how much you've gained. Like, you can't even really put a price tag on that. Like, how much you've gained from that pair of shoes has paid itself off
Priceless.
1,000 or 10,000 times. Yeah. So don't be afraid to invest in yourself. You want to go get some tools, like, or whatever, go and do it.
Get the paints, get a canvas, get anything to start.
Yeah.
Any little thing to start.
It's funny that you bring up paint, because I was thinking the same thing.
Ask somebody for some help. If they got some stuff that they're not using, just ask to use it.
Yeah.
Just people are happy sometimes, want to help.
Mm-hmm.
Yo,
and then it's like we just needed to, like, be like, hey, man, I'm reaching out. What do you need? Oh, I just needed something like artistic or something.
Mm-hmm. And that might form a relationship. Like, this person was just itching to share some techniques on, you know, how to do something with a tool or with a paintbrush or a guitar or whatever. And they're
Start the band, start
like,
the art group,
hey,
start
you wanna learn? Like, let them down.
Yeah, man.
People are waiting too.
You know, they're waiting to collaborate all over the
Absolutely.
place and wishing that somebody's going to ask them. So it's like, just ask somebody. You'll know the person that wants it too, man. You can see it in their eyes. They got that
Absolutely,
fire.
man.
They got that fire.
They got the fire.
We're building the fire for the community. And let's keep it burning, boys.
Damn straight.
Yeah, man. All right. Well, on that note, you want to call it, and we'll just.
Yo, that was
We
Great
got,
conversation,
we got a lot of
gentlemen.
stuff that we could keep going with, but I
We
mean,
can sit here all night.
yeah, that's a good one, I think.
I think that. How long do you think we did that for?
I don't know.
Dude,
Probably
I
15 minutes.
You think it was 15 minutes? No, it's not.
40 minutes.
But it's so funny, like when you're having fun, it's just like I lost track of time there.
Yeah.
You know, like and you know, I was nervous at the start, but it felt like that was like fucking super genuine, guys.
Yeah, it's
like,
just having a conversation.
Just chilling.
You know, and letting
Yeah.
it flow.
yeah.
Yeah, time stands still.
And you know, I really like encourage you guys keep this thing going and have some really good guests on, and you know, everyone's got something that they can share. So I'm looking forward. Where are you guys gonna be in episode 100? This was episode 3.
Yeah,
Three.
What's it gonna
Well,
be at
it's
100?
got new lighting for episode 3.
damn straight.
Hell yeah!
Yeah.
So we'll play one of Brandon's new songs on our outro.
Yeah. You want to do that?
Well, no, I'll play
Oh,
it. I'll
you're
put it
gonna
in.
actually play it?
I'll actually play it.
All right.
So
yeah.
which one do you want me to put on?
Probably dopamine fatigue.
All right.
Or do you want to release that other one that I was going to release that we just were working on?
Either or.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Boys,
It's a
I
surprise.
also want to say, like, yo, thanks for letting me do this.
Yeah,
you know,
Thanks for being here, Spenny.
yeah, I've never done something like this, and this is kind of a prime example. I was nervous at the beginning, but it's funny how, you know, like,
Breaking doors down
well,
in a
fear
way.
could control you, but it's never like it's never as big as what you think it's gonna be. You know, and I remember just saying to myself before, like, just go out there and have fun, and that's what I did.
Be not afraid.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's
Is that what the slogan is?
the
the name of
podcast is
the
called
podcast.
that. Be not
Oh,
afraid podcast.
Yeah. So yeah, like all the the fear fucking just kind of vanished.
Yeah.
Because I'm surrounded by good people. Like, I mean,
that's true. No fear. Yeah, the fear is just stopping us for no reason.
Shouldn't.
Just
That's
gotta,
all- but-
gotta just blast through it. You
here,
know, and-
yeah, but the thing is, like, fear is it's something that, like, and I know we're shutting this down soon, but it's actually something we create in our mind, and things are not usually as scary like it's as what you think. That's your
Never-
mind playing the
never
game.
is.
Think
Scary
about
as
it
you
as an
think it is.
acronym. I can't recall who said this, but fear. False evidence appearing real.
Yeah.
You know, it's all in your mind, man.
Yeah.
A lot of the time, you know, and that which you are fearful towards, you should probably go head first into that because that's what you're going to have to overcome to get to the next step, man.
Yeah. Yeah, this was great.
Good, brother.
Maybe I'll be back one day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you will be.
Yeah, you never
man,
know.
You can.
100%.
Whenever you
Episode
guys wanna, like-
300.
Reoccurring guest here. We're like, Spencer's back.
Spencer Smithers, the optimist.
Yeah, I love it.
Hell yeah.
All right.
Outro.
Thanks, everybody.
Peace and
Enjoy
love.
this song. Peace.
Few lines of reading upon a new beginning. In your curves I am lining. My heart as it is pumping, flooding through my body. For this I can't be sorry.